Hey there, how we doing? Well, I'm going to share with you a little bit about a topic that's been on my mind, and the topic is about faith, you know, because I've been meeting so many people that are so lost that they're depressed, they're sad, they're, really lonely, and they don't have any kind of rock to lean on, and their lives are off the rails because of all this different stuff going on in our world, and they don't have anything. They don't have anything to believe in. Now, our belief in God, that belief directs us to strive and let God's love radiate in us who are trying to help these people. Because, there's just no way that you can talk to people that don't know God. It scares them. Either they run away or they just think you're crazy. And so you really have to let the presence of God come out through our ways of how we eat, how we give, how we live, how we talk, our speech, you know, and that's what we have to do because it just isn't happening to be doing a bunch of talk with people about, you better believe in God, because they don't want to hear it. And so we have to let our lives just radiate of goodness and rightness, and make sure that we get poured into by the right people ourselves to keep us powered up. And we get poured into by the Holy Scripture, by our services, and by our prayer with God. That does help, but we still need people pouring into us right stuff too. Don't get off track ourselves by listening to the crazies, you know. It's difficult to share about God with folk that don't believe because they just don't get it. And so I want to say that I had an experience where I had a conversation with a young lady in the neighborhood, and we were just having a conversation talking, and I noticed her husband, her partner, how he was a young guy, how kind he was, how thoughtful he was, how caring he was, how helpful he was doing things around the house and just helping in general, and being a helpmate. And so when he wasn't really right there by us, I said, how did you find a man like this? You know, and she kind of dropped her head and she humbly said to me, it just had to have been God. She said it just had to have been God. And that statement struck me. That couple, they had faith, you know, and they believed in God as the power that reigned above them, that was directing and guiding their ways into what they would do and how they would raise their children and just what rightness was in order to have a fulfilling life. You know, in order to do that, you have to believe there is something greater than yourself. And I say believe in God and the death of Jesus so that all the wrong things we've done in our younger years can be removed and we have a fresh start. Because otherwise, we don't really feel we're worthy of anything because we've done all these wrong things. I know I have through our lives. Oh, we're all human and we all sin and we still do. But when we have that resurrection, we have a chance to be better. We're clean. The slate is clean, and that's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And so we have to believe in that whole package and follow the commandments. And you know what the main commandments are? The main things: to love God and to love others. Yeah, that's it. Love God and love others. And this comes from Exodus 21 to 11. And also these commandments are stated in Deuteronomy 5, 6, 21. And so we have to constantly direct ourselves in prayer and conversation to the thing that's greater than we are, God, and always that's always there for us. And that's stated in Isaiah 26, 3. Love God is always there when we want to reach out and say, I believe, I want to trust in you. I need something because I ain't enough. I ain't enough and I need something. And God needs us too. And God's love is there for us forever. God's love is there for us. It's there for us forever. And so, and that faith and being able to believe that that is there for us, even though we can't actually see a human form other than those of us who believe being able to demonstrate it in these ways that I had just mentioned to you and how we live. I mean, that's a manifestation of God through other people. But I mean, as far as God then showing up and saying, okay, this is me, I'm here too. You got her doing or him doing, God, but this is the real thing. Well, that ain't happening, but it radiates through others, and our angels. And so having faith and belief that there's something greater than we, because we're not enough, and we know that, it's a gift. It's a gift. And it's believing that what we want and hope for will be. It's going to be. We're going to be okay. And we believe it even though we can't see it and in a human sense, but we continue this belief and we trust that God exists, that God is, and we are led by God's guidance to make our lives better and to act on what he directs us to act on. Everyday story for me, and I'm gonna do this quick story and then I'm out. Well, I sometimes want to do more, and not necessarily rest. And I say, gee, I want to go such and such a place, and God said, hold it. He says, hold it. And I want to go because I imagine the way maybe it used to be there when somebody else lived there, or that I connected with that knew God. And I want it to be like I imagine it could be, but it's not. And but I feel like I want to go because of my imaginings that it would be okay. And God said, hold it, hold it. You've been there. Don't make that phone call. Don't go there. Because if you go, you got to be ready to minister. You got to be ready to represent God because you know what's there. It's still there like it was. It's not what you want it to be. It's what it needs to be. God has to touch upon it. And you need to rest now. So that's what God said to me. His voice says, hold it here. You have been there and you know what that is. So stay here with me and relax. So, my friends, let us relax and talk to God. Real talk. If you don't really believe in him, just try to give God a try. Just try to give God a little try. And if you do, enjoy God and relax in God's love. All right now, love you much. Tidbits from the Love Notes. Bye-bye.